Wow, 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 wow. All right, we got audio and everything set up and good. All right. Wow, 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 wow. All right, we got audio and everything set up and good. All right. Wow, 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 wow. Whew. Oh my goodness. All right, guys. I guess for YouTube, I'm Michael Weiss, as you can see at the bottom. I'm here for Atlanta United Fan TV with match reactions to a absolute heart stopper. Thiago Almada with a late brace to send Atlanta United past San Jose 2-1 at the home opener. Oh my goodness, I wish I could have been there, but had to be back here because I just had a newborn recently, so gotta make sure that they're eating, sleeping, and being generally taken care of. So yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to begin. Let me just turn the music down a little bit. Let me get my notes over here when I was watching this game. There was so many things that were happening that were sending me into a fit in the beginning. First 90 minutes, I was thinking, I guess almost 90 minutes, I was thinking, like, this is not a really good sign. This is not a really good sign. I'm really worried about this team. Even with the addition of Miguel Berry, even with the addition of Luis Abram, I'm like, I don't think this is the firepower necessary, especially with so many holes in the midfield, Rossetto and Ibarra. Doesn't even matter, though. Doesn't even matter, though. We got Thiago Almada, world beater. So you can never count Atlanta United out now. You got that kind of firepower in, that much confidence coming at you from a World Cup win. Can't ever count it out. Yeah. Baraka, wow, what an ending. This could be wow, what a finish. I mean, too. Yeah. Pearls. Absolute gems. Whew. Man, I'm still hyped. I am still hyped. I can't even imagine the energy in that stadium at the end in the overtime. Like, all right, let's see. Okay. Just try to see if I can put some people into the stream here. Can we get to talking about this game a little bit? I'll be reading your chats, so feel free to talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you have any questions, anything you want to go over, I have a bunch of notes from the game too, so I'll be sure to hit a bunch of that. But yeah, we're looking forward to talking to some of you guys as well. Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Hey, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, I can.
My new mic setup and whatnot. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. All right. So yeah, welcome to the stream. It's the first time me doing this instead of AJ. So I'm taking a little bit of his responsibilities while he goes and enjoys the game.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah. All right. So do you have a cam or no? It's up to you.
Yeah, Cam, I can turn it on if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Hello, AJ.
Oh, there he is. AJ, you are muted. Yeah, you're going to have to unmute yourself. Let me get...
There we go. Hey, Mackenzie. Hey.
There we are.
That was a crazy game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the definition of sometimes maybe good, sometimes.
So, we got crazy from you. What else? What other adjectives? You probably have an entire thesaurus ready for this game.
It was intense. I'll say that. I was sitting at work for a majority of the game watching it, so...
AJ, are you...
Hey, are we...
oh, there you are.
Are we? Oh, okay. Here we go. No. All right, so yeah. Are we live?
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome to the broadcast.
Welcome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah. Wow.
Piping you
what
in
have I
live.
just witnessed? Yeah. This is insane. Yeah, but yeah, everyone who's watching, welcome to the stream. We'll be doing this as much as we can throughout the season. But yeah, I mean, Mackenzie, you said you were at work, but were you watching that snooze fest a little bit in the beginning, and then
Yeah.
turned on the last seven minutes?
Most definitely.
What were your thoughts?
It was... like I said in the group chat earlier, I was like... kind of, for that first half, kind of looked like we were playing like a U16 team. Not gonna lie. Like, with how much...
Go ahead.
with how much we were just running around, like, just passing back and forth, not really trying to connect anything. We were, but, like, at the same time, it was just more of, like, we're connecting it, but, like, nothing's happening.
One could argue that the match against Toluca with the academy players looked more dangerous than how we looked for most of the match. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think yeah, I mean, they definitely put more shots on goal as well than we did for most of that match. But yeah, in terms of yeah, like that starting 11, did it inspire some confidence in you when you first saw it, or
Absolutely not.
did it kind of
Absolutely not. I was like,
expound?
I'm like, with Conway, like not like crapping on Conway or anything, but like with him being our striker, like feel like Chol would have had a better chance against their defense.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, it's not. I think it's not just the striker position for us. That obviously we have. You know, we have reinforcements that will definitely help. I'm sure, but our midfields a little bit as well. Like which of the 11? I can go through the 11 for you if you need me to. Do you think was not maybe the was not maybe destined for the starting 11 for this match to begin with? If we had everybody healthy, that was a really tough and weird question, but
probably Ibarra. It looked like he was just getting ran around in the midfield.
Oof. Espinoza bossed Ibarra a couple times really badly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We I think desperately needed somebody probably that sat in the middle of the park there, in between our center backs, probably. And
most definitely.
Yeah. But to be fair though, to the team, credit goes to them still. For we pinned San Jose back for most of the first half.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, in terms of, limiting their chances, they had some, like, threatening moments and whatnot. But, beyond their goal, it was, like, a fairly even first half, apparently, in terms of XG. Like, 0.8 for San Jose, 1 for Atlanta. But, yeah, how good is Thiago Almada? I mean,
I love
how
that man.
far is he going to take us?
I love that man.
It's outrageous.
I was joking with my dad before I got on here. He called me. He was like, "So, what jersey do you want?" And I was like, "What do you think?"
Yeah. I think he's gonna. That sale's gonna go up after this game. I think.
Oh, definitely.
Right, exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What did you think about the handball and the penalty shot?
Thank you.
Can we not have Aruju take penalty shots anymore?
Yeah, I think that's pretty definitive. He probably has lost those dudes probably for a minute.
And the fact that every time he got the ball after that, he was trying to get a shot on goal or trying to score. He was just like being selfish with the ball at that point, and with how badly San Jose was intercepting everything, you can't really be selfish at that point. You got to make sure you pass it around and be able to get something into the box and not just take 15 shots from outside the box.
Yeah, no, we definitely had around 15 shots from outside the box in that second half. I was joking on Twitter. Basically, if Aruju skies it, you take a shot.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I think we'd be drunk. I mean, I'd be like face down hugging the porcelain god. I mean, that's a little callback to our conversation, Michael. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, no. Do you have any last thoughts on this match, Mackenzie?
Just really, we just need to get the cohesion there. It was like our preseason wasn't. It was a true preseason, but it looked like we didn't show up to preseason at the beginning of that match.
Yeah, and we also didn't have really anybody that was new, like in the team, actually have a preseason with the squad.
Yeah.
That plays significant minutes. So no, there's gonna be an acclimation period for sure. And,
most definitely.
But if you recall the early part of last season, how there was some promise, right? But we did a lot of this. We did a lot of like saving our butts late in matches.
Yeah.
Do you feel like this has that feeling, or do you feel like it's maybe a different vibe?
It really did give me flashbacks to the beginning of last season, and it has the same vibe essentially with like we're being selfish with the ball. We're trying to be a one-man team with our star names, so to say, and like we're not putting stuff into the box.
Yeah. So definitely a lot of hero ball, but agreed. But Mackenzie, thank you so much. Really good to see you back here again. But we'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Thanks for coming on.
See ya. Thank you. All right. Do we have somebody next, or?
Let me just fix something real quick, and then we'll be able to look to see if there's someone else.
Okay. But just to talk through a little bit of my thoughts right now.
Yeah.
Boy, it is. I'm sure all the journalists have a headline, that they had in the 90th minutes, and then that quickly changed deep in stoppage, and good for us fans for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it is. It's just like it's very heart attack like inducing a little bit. It's like just the highs and the lows with this team.
Yeah.
It is. I think we'd all prefer like, hey, we score early, and then we score in the second half as well. We shut them out. It's 2-0. Oh, we all go home happy, and it's not like. I mean, I guess this is like peak entertainment value, maybe in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone is gripping, the edge of their seats. I mean, you can't turn the TV off. Especially with a team like this. I was saying in the beginning of the stream, like, you have to pay attention the whole time because they can come right back at the last minute with talent like they have.
Right. And I think that's what begs the question: is are we skirting by on talent versus an actual system that looks, I don't know, just like anything that's coherent? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you beg the question a little bit. I think that there is no system really in place. I mean, they're trying for a system, but I think that it really is just, and this is what happened a lot last year, is they're relying on hero ball. And I think, though, that once you have a tip of the spear and Giacomakis who comes in, you will be able to see a system kind of develop a little bit better because right now there is no tip of the spear, really. I mean, Barry is not match fit. And Conway is unfortunately not an MLS striker at the moment. So those guys are not taking defenders away from the center of or right in front of the goal. They're not, distracting anyone. They're not doing anything really that's affecting the play in the attack very much. Whereas like a guy like Giacomakis, he's gonna be it's like Joseph Martinez. He's gonna be double, triple covered maybe sometimes. That gives way more room for a midfielder sneak in like Almada or winger like Arujo or Etienne. So, I mean, I'm really looking forward. I mean, even Gutman, that guy just seems to slide in everywhere. Like, my wife was watching and she said, like, I can't believe that he was like all the way on defense. All of a sudden he's back on offense, all trying to get the ball in the net. He just made a crucial play in defense. Now he's all the way back up there. So, yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, that man has an engine that's, man, like, he has that no pun intended, that gut to just run up and down and just like, man, like you just can't, yeah, man, like he just has that work rate that defensively and on attack. That's he could pop up at any position, and
there's just so many times where I'm like, he's the one at the end of the product, of the offensive product. And I'm like, that should be our striker. That should be a winger. That should be a midfielder. But here he is. He's in there, putting his wonderfully shiny bald head on the end of attacks.
Yeah, yeah, you can't miss him. To be fair, it's easy to catch where he is, and that's the, I guess the craziest part about how he can sneak into some positions is how he's not hard to miss on the pitch, but then all of a sudden, he'll show up in some good positions. But
hey, Mark.
I mean, this one definitely. Hey.
How you doing?
Mark Nichols in the house. Let's go.
All right, I think you're muted. There you
go,
are.
Guys. I am so sorry. I was like, it's been a while since I've used what do you call it? What do you call this? Discord. And I was
Discord.
like, where do I go
Discord,
with
you
this
boomer. Jeez.
Right.
I know. I was like, where's the stream? And I was like, oh yeah, I have to go to this spot. So my bad, y'all.
Oh, you're good.
You're good. And no, we had another guest as well. We had Mackenzie. So yeah, you had perfect timing actually.
Yeah.
So,
Sweet.
but
so give us your immediate reactions.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. Well, I mean, obviously on a high now, right? So, it's a party atmosphere. It was a rough watch for a good bit of it, and it's, the midfield. I think unfortunately we saw why we had concerns. I think it was Jackson Ewell in particular who was just having the time of his life, just gliding. I don't remember exactly who it was, but whoever it was that glided through our midfield and made the switch over for the first goal, for San Jose's first goal. Like, it's just so easy, and they just did that on the counter again and again and again. I mean, I guess the biggest positive you could say, aside from Almada, is that we didn't allow another goal. So, and I think the back line will eventually. I think it is a strength. I certainly think I think it's one of the better backlines in MLS, particularly when Abram, is it?
Abram, yeah.
Abram, yeah. Once he gets going, so. But Almada, holy hell, he deserves number 23. I mean, woo, jeez. I mean, it's so funny that it was San Jose because, what was it? 5 years ago now. It was San Jose, that crazy game with that crazy ending. This is just fitting.
That was also MLS After Dark. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, always happier with a win than not. Obviously concerns, but I will say, like, I'll reserve judgment until a couple of the new signings, particularly Greek god. I'm not gonna attempt to say his name.
Giacomakis.
How do you say it?
Giacomakis.
Giacomakis. Okay, right.
Or just call him Gigi.
Yeah. Yeah, so once Giacomakis and Abram get into the lineup, and Etienne as well, I think he will be, certainly he should be a key player for us this season. Then, I think we'll start to see what this team is supposed to look like. So.
Yeah. All right, let me...
Thiago Almada, hold on. Sorry, Michael. Yeah, we got to go back to that. You're saying the number is fitting. So 23. Are you saying it's his Jordan year? Are you saying he's leading us to some glory, to some championships? Like,
no, he's saying because April 23rd is my birthday. That's what he's saying.
No, don't let him off the hook. What do you mean?
I mean, he put the team on his back, son. Like, man, and it's really what. Because at one point, I don't know what the final count was, but it was like 18 shots. But I think even before our first goal. So,
3 on goal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say for Arujo as well, because he'll always be a topic of conversation. I think the worst thing an attacking midfielder or forward can be is non-existent. I don't think you can accuse him of being non-existent. I mean, he was trying to go at people. He was dropping shots. Yeah, it's just they were, and a couple looked like they were, and then obviously didn't bend enough or whatever. So
yeah.
Especially the penalty.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I just felt sick for him. What's funny, actually? I saw AJ's tweet before the actual kick. So I was just cackling. I thought it was just like, you're kidding me. You're kidding me.
I know, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I immediately posted that gif of Liar Liar of Jim Carrey just pulling his hair out after he missed that shot.
Yeah, right. Come on,
yeah. Let me take a second and we'll look at the chat real quick and see if anything's popping up over there. Let's see. It was a crazy last few minutes. Glad we got through. We looked static and unorganized in the first half. That is true. Agreed the midfield needs to be addressed. The midfield is an issue. I don't know if even a healthy Sosa will be enough to make things better in the midfield. Let's see.
Yeah, it's the A position. It's the box-to-box midfielder for me that, we definitely need an upgrade. We need more control. Even though, again, we pinned them in the first half. Great, but it's still a lot of like U-shaped passing, very predictable balls coming in.
They were glad to push us out. They condensed the midfield, they condensed the box, and they just were great to push us out into the wings where we could just put in impotent passes all day. All right, let's see what else is there.
Yeah, and Wiley, did play badly, but it is one of those where he doesn't have a right foot yet.
Yeah.
And so he's not beating a man one-on-one. Like, it's just, very difficult if you're an attacking winger and you're not really, getting into shooting positions. And essentially you're just having to cross it in where it's a hopeful ball. Jackson Conway kind of not in the area on some of those.
Jackson Conway is non-existent. He's invisible.
I mean, it's just, it's just that. It's, it's a little bit more where, he's not ready yet. The layoffs also weren't quite there from Jackson Conway to be able to, kind of bring in other teammates. So it's just like predictable use to the to the sides, and then pump balls in that don't end up on anybody's feet, head, any of that. But Mark, in terms of the if any of the debutants stood out. Miguel Berry, Derek Etienne, Luis Abram. Yeah, was there anybody that's in those limited minutes kind of showed you some promise that I want to see some more?
To be honest, I can't say that there was any one individual performance that was like, oh, definitely excited to see more of this. I am generally excited about Etienne and Abram. And I will say, like, I do think these subs, because it's a tough game to analyze because, like a lot of the shots we got were not great shots, but we still ended up with a lot of shots and shots that people can put on target, like shots that are not unreasonable to think are goals. Case in point, Almada's goals. So,
Those are low XG goals.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes you just it is what it is in terms of that's how the game plays out. I do think that like Atlanta United need to try to get better shots, and you guys were talking about Jackson Conway. Yeah, I mean that's just one of the things where it is what it is. Like he's essentially a body, the only natural striker we have available. So, I have to think that a more dynamic presence up front would lead to a more dangerous attack overall. But yeah, going back to your question specifically, I think that these subs helped, I guess, maintain the level, maybe up it a little bit. Most importantly, we were able to, sort of play a full 90 instead of like just letting it peter out, like actually keep the pressure on until the end. So in that sense, I guess, you could say the subs were positive. But I definitely I'm looking forward to seeing more of them, even though like today it wasn't anything that was like particularly mind-blowing about their performances.
And yeah, the debuts were relatively short for sure. I think in terms of like Miguel Berry, he had a couple shots outside of the box, and yeah, they were on goal. But Derek Etienne kind of had a moment where he was able to hold up the ball a little bit and show strength, which is kind of interesting as a.
And Mike Conti was trying to go for a shout for a penalty for a hot second too.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know about that. But the, yeah, I mean, and I think we do have to talk about San Jose getting what they deserve.
Oh yeah.
Which
there is crow all around their face right now.
Oh yes, and all the crow, I mean, it's just two stretchers being brought out and being called back. It's just. I mean, it's outrageous. This has happened before to us, and I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's kind of embarrassing on the ref. Not kind of. It's highly embarrassing for a ref, I think. If I mean, they basically
no. Tell us how you feel, AJ.
What's that?
So no. Tell us how you really feel.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's yeah. If I was a ref in MLS, well, first of all, I wouldn't be. Someone's got to be, right? Oh. Anyway,
the candor.
But yeah. But anyway, it's definitely one of those. Yeah, the earthquakes, all that time wasting, it's beautiful. It's just sweet karma. Just But
well, and you could argue that all that time wasting led to the injury time in which we used to score, and so that's always been one of my things too. Is like let us see you waste as much time as they want. Just make sure you
it's
count
added.
All of it.
Yeah.
Put it on.
Absolutely. Let me look at some more of these comments real quick because there's actually quite a few of them. I want to make sure we get to some of them first. So let's see.
Please.
Yeah, so someone asked, are we going to be in the playoffs? A little early to say. Maybe, so we'll see about that. I mean, since they expanded it, most likely, hopefully.
Match day one.
Yeah, I know. It's just hot takes off at the beginning. So Aruju couldn't hit King Von if he had a Lil Tim's gun. I'm not sure what that means, but that's probably great. From the UK, MLS is back, baby. I freaking love this league. Yes. Thiago did the Lord's work today. Absolutely. Yeah, Thiago's got the flair from Papa Messi. Arujo's always been selfish, but this week was really bad. I'm glad he didn't take the last free kick. I agree with that. Atlanta players need to stop hero balling. Yeah, well, I mean, hopefully that will be addressed, and then when we got all of our starters on the field.
Speaking of hero ball, let's pause there real quick.
Yeah.
Mark called this last season. Pretty much, when Gutman bailed us out, when Mulroney bailed us out early. Mark, you made fantastic points of this is unsustainable. And it's one of these things. The pattern of play, at least, and the quality of our play and system definitely needs to improve and improve quickly. Like, do you think this is a different vibe than what we were experiencing early last season, or is it similar?
This particular game, I think there were more similarities than differences, at least for the first, let's say, 60 minutes. Yeah, like I said, the one thing I'll say, like, they did get a decent amount of shots, but then there's some, I forget what the term, match effect, game situation, at play there. San Jose with the lead.
Game state.
Yeah, exactly. San Jose with the lead, slowly dropping as the game goes on. So yeah, it is actually. It's funny. Yeah, I forgot that I said that, but it was kind of like the beginning of last season. Actually, was very similar. So, for a first game, of the season, you don't expect like the chemistry to 100% be there, especially if if it's basically the same lineup as the previous season, then fair enough. But hopefully going forward, we see more improvements in the pattern of play.
All right. Let me
Any
just get to
other
a couple.
comments?
Yeah, I got plenty. Let's see.
Love it.
Yeah, that free kick was Messi inspired.
And I realize there might be a little bit of a...
Yeah. Let's see. Yes, Kenzie's in the stream chat. Ellie says, only an elite team like Real Madrid with individual talent can do a comeback like this. I wasn't a fan of the system, but individual talent got us the points tonight. I agree. I think we are very Madrid-like. That's true, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
I think
totally will win the Club World Cup.
Yeah, I think Ibarra was really good at winning the ball back, but has to stop the poor giveaways. Yeah, I mean, a lot of those were balls he won back were the ones he lost in the beginning. So that's true. Gutman for president, don't disagree. What's up, Connor? Do coaches in the U.S. need a certificate like in UEFA? I don't know the answer to that. I would hope they have to have some kind of certification.
Generally they do. But,
Conway just isn't as a striker, period. Doesn't have pace, special awareness. I mean, he's also kind of like still a Atlanta United 2 type player. So I don't have all of the, I'm not going to hold him to like Yakamagi's or Jose Martinez standards.
Right.
Let's see.
Exactly. He's a player that's, basically he's not the finished product. And, I mean, I think if we play to his strengths, which I think are obvious, size, his physicality, I think we could have him be useful, but I think right now, it's still all a little too raw.
Let's see. What else? Connor also says, I think we need to sign a true backup striker because our solution is Conway, who can't compete, and Barry, who's a 25-year-old with, 5 goals? I mean, yeah, but I mean, I think Barry's a little bit... Yeah, I think like Barry's a little bit maybe better than what his stats say, and hopefully he can do a little bit more with us, but we'll see. Maybe you're right. Well, that really is time will tell. I will say our tactics for this... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Barry with his it's in terms of his work rate, that's been lauded. I mean, he scored 8 MLS goals with Columbus Crew, DC United. I don't think he fit the system.
DC United was also a dumpster fire.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's kind of telling too. I mean, it's like if Wayne Rooney and DC United are not wanting to use him, I mean, but then there's also this: they put a sell-on fee for him. I mean, if they don't believe in the guy,
Yeah.
I think they would have just like dumped it
Yeah, that's true.
completely. So
All right, so he also says, I will say our tactics for this game didn't work. Our strikers were wanting ball to feet, and we were playing the ball wide. Yeah, I mean, they really congested the midfield leading up to their box really, really well. I mean, every time any balls were put in or tried to get to them in the middle, there was like 3-4 defenders just waiting for it with their legs in the way. So he also says the only new player was NEN, but think they aren't connected yet. Yeah, I agree with that. That's true. Another one says Etienne impressed me in his limited minutes. He controlled the ball a lot better than Wiley did. That's to be expected. Wiley's still quite young. Etienne looked the best. He won a lot of free kicks in good areas. Maybe his experience will be very valuable in the young team. Agree with that. Let's see.
yeah, on Etienne, yeah, I think it's that. It's like you need. I mean, it's the modern football, right? Like you need wingers that cut in, and then if also your fullbacks are staying out wide, well then you need that balance, right? And Wiley and Gutman are just a little too similar in terms of kind of what's going on. It's just too predictable. But even more modern than that, obviously, are fullbacks that are playing as defensive midfielders. So it's one of those things where, like we just I don't know. We in terms of system do not look like we're in modern football. Like Michael, like what system are we playing? Like what are we trying to do?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Pineda ball is at this point.
Yeah. Like, are we? Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, good question in terms of Pineda ball itself. I mean, today, it seems like his 4-2-3-1 is his preferred shape, maybe. But I mean, in terms of what we're trying to do, there's nothing too distinct about it. I mean, the fullbacks push up. And and this is the thing too, like in terms of the attack, right, or the times that we were on the break, like we would break through and like get through the middle third pretty easily and then get to the final third and it would just stop. And so it's like that's where, like, what are the patterns at that point? What are players expected to do? It looks like they don't know other than look for 1-2s. Like that's the only thing. It just seems like it's like 1-2s and triangles to progress the ball and then to get into shooting areas or crosses. Like it seems like that's how we're basically trying to score is 1-2s, triangles, and crosses. So
it's lacking. Right, exactly. And the fact that you have to you're reaching for like I'm not really sure. It's basically that. It's like to me like some of the best modern football right now is positional play and players knowing where they need to be and also being very flexible in their versatility to be able to pop up into positions and also recognize when, if the fullback is inverting and I am a winger, I need to go out wide. It's a lot of that where it's like, or, if they've now occupied, like the fullback is now occupying, a box-to-box midfielder position, then maybe I need to go back. Like if I'm a box-to-box midfielder, I need to, take up their position so that all spaces on the pitch are still, occupied with a player to be able to, keep the ball, progress the ball, get into good shooting positions, and not have to shoot from outside the box.
Does that come down to soccer IQ?
What's that?
Does that come down to like soccer IQ experience?
I mean, probably. I mean, no, I think it's the system. It's like what is Pineda doing? That is the question. It's just like I am just not sure. I'm not professing to be an expert, but I mean, if fans can see this and are frustrated, I don't know. I mean, it's just like.
All right, so moving on to some other comments. We talked about Wiley for a minute. A lot of people are saying Wiley didn't look very great today. I think Wiley plays better as a left wing back. I think Wiley is good against poor defenses, but against well-drilled back lines, he gets exposed. That's probably true. I mean, again, like I don't have high expectations for Wiley because he's not at MLS level, I think, yet. So, I mean, like it is kind of a, we're put between a rock and a hard place. We have to play him, and that's why he's out there. So.
I mean, I think it's this. It's like Wiley, he is a player that has some MLS level tools. And
they're coming. They're developing
he's got
for
that
sure.
Pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's got that pace. He's got the ability to beat a man early, not in or near the box, unfortunately. He can beat them for pace, in a foot race. And he can put a decent ball in. Like, I mean, but yeah, it is in terms of if he's a winger, it's not a winger.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, because he's naturally a left back, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
like
18 years old. I mean,
yeah, and so
hell,
like
he's super talented.
right, and so when you play him on the left wing, one, he's he's not necessarily gonna have those like natural attacking instincts or like moves on the ball. So he might have like one or two shifty one or two tricks in his bag, but he's not gonna have like a full complement like a natural attacker would. And like with him being on the left, he's essentially a touchline winger at that point. I mean, the most dangerous he looked, I thought, was when he and Gutman could combine somewhat, but then they kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, the back heel is interesting. So
yeah,
that guy.
Right.
I always say this every time I see the back heel deployed in MLS. It just ruins people because no one expects the back heel.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, yeah, he had some really good flicks. Those were the good tricks in his bag. But in terms of beating a man to get in a shooting position, which is what we needed, it wasn't there. So.
Yeah, I don't know if you can even reasonably expect it. So, yeah, I mean, we've seen it a few times, like him at the left wing. But I don't know how much more. I don't think we need to see.
He's a good runner.
Yeah.
This young body. Yep.
Yeah, like we need runners, absolutely. But I think that's more at this moment probably a late match. You're chasing a game.
Yeah.
Or you're playing on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see.
Any other comments?
Yeah. Yeah. That second goal was a big middle finger to San Jose. Yeah, we covered that. Absolutely, it was. Poor game management from the ref. He didn't set a standard, and they took advantage. I agree with that when it comes to the time wasting and everything. They started that early, too, which was weird, but, it is what it is. Yeah. Another comment, I was telling my dad, welcome back to MLS and CONCACAF referees. Yeah, it seems a little bit like that. Yep, let's go, Atlanta United. Keep on winning. Well, so far, so good. San Jose is just like Philly. Live by the flop, die by the flop. Well, that's because they're inheriting some Philly players, like Montegro and everything. So, so my issue is that relying on one player to drop a I'm him performance to be the guy to bail us out is not really sustainable, just like you guys were talking about earlier. That is true, Baraka. This game was so frustrating for 90 minutes. Yes, it was. I was thinking we were not going to pull this one out unless it's some save a miracle, and that miracle's name was Thiago Almada. I think Etienne will be a similar but better player than Justin Miram. Interesting. Let me just do this before you start talking.
I like that.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously Justin Miram played left wing back for us, but yeah. I mean, okay. I like the similarities because Miram was obviously very productive for us, so I'll take that.
My favorite Iranian
yeah,
player.
I think
Iranian.
I mean,
sorry,
he's still
Iranian.
in the league. Iranian.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And yes, very important distinction. But yeah, Etienne, yeah, it's like I think he's a dark horse for I think second leading scorer on the team. I think I think he could be someone that is very productive for us if if he can stay healthy, if he can show his skills. Yeah, I mean, if he can combine with Thiago Almada a lot, I think it would be quite useful. I mean, both of them could be double-digit goals and assists if if it came to it. So, yeah, I don't know if we can expect that from the right side at this moment, not a Rouge, but I mean, yeah, I think even better question right now, Michael.
Yeah.
How many goals does Luis Araújo score this season?
All competitions?
All competitions.
I don't know. I don't know. He's
under 10.
In my head.
Yeah, under 10, under 5. Or how about this? More than 5, under 5.
More than 5.
Yeah, it's going to be more than 5.
More than 5 or under. Yeah, it's going to be more than 5.
I think it's going to be in or around.
I think he had 4 last season, right?
I think with Giakoumakis in and it's freeing up way more space for him to not have such pressured shots on goal and can get a little bit closer to the net as well, which I heard Pineda was training a lot with him about him trying to get into better spaces closer to the goal because he takes so many damn shots that are outside of the box. So hopefully that's in the plans, and then Giakoumakis can free him up for that. So if that's indeed the case, I'm going to put it hopefully, optimistic, like 12 or so goals, but realistic, probably like 8 is my guess. I hope for more, but that's, I guess, if I had to pick.
Those numbers you said were pretty much what I thought. Like, at first I was like, I could see him scoring 11, 12, and then I was like, you know what, maybe I should pare that back, because it's one of those things, like, it's going back to what I was saying before about this is a tough game to analyze. I think his performance in particular, for me, it's one of those where I'm in two minds, where, like, yes, of course you want the better technique. You want to see at least a couple of those on target, especially the penalty, obviously, but I mean, it also felt a little bit unlucky. So, and I want my attacker getting in those positions, taking players on. He had that one really nice carry through the middle of the park.
Left.
Yeah, and if we get more of that from him, I mean, that we could certainly use that. So, but in terms of goal output, yeah, around 10 feels right. I'm gonna say 9. I think you're on mute.
I mean, it's. Oh no, I'm not on mute.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's. Yeah, you guys are. I think in there. I'm going less. I'm going like 7. I think. Unfortunately, hopefully we can get him in better positions. I think that's what it is. He's really good on the ball, but I think it's more if he can get like those runs in behind, right? I mean, I don't know if I fully trust him on a one-on-one, but he's definitely an outlet for us. He's definitely, if we're not keeping the ball, if we're away from home, I mean, he's that perfect outlet that can relieve that pressure, and he has scored some counterattack goals for us. So I think it is, the more that he can get one-on-one with the keeper, I think he'll have a greater chance of scoring goals when he's in the box. So, let's keep it moving. And I think I might have to also keep it moving as well, because it's kind of dead.
Just hanging out outside the stadium at 10:30.
Yep, exactly.
So just let everyone know that this is what AJ does. This is what AJ does for all of you. He's our live correspondent on the ground. So it's going the extra mile here. All right, so another comment. I think
Indeed.
Etienne will be. I
The
read that
beautiful
one.
views
Blah blah
of
blah.
the stadium.
Yes, the scenic, iconic Mercedes-Benz. Let's see. Playing the ball wide means we need our striker on the center backs straight away. Wiley's town is obvious, but he's just not ready for the big role on a quality team, right? We looked most dangerous on the breakaway, and we have an amazing back line with Robinson. Our system should not be afraid to let them get numbers in our half if we are back and tight and then counter. That sounds very much like 2017 and 18 a little bit. We just crushed them on counters whenever they would push way too far up. So maybe.
All right. That's interesting. Let's pause there real quick. In that Purata or Abram have both played deeper than Miles Robinson. In which case, I mean, yeah, Miles Robinson has the recovery pace to be able to handle any sort of counter and all that. But it's interesting that both of them are instead the players that are playing deeper. Yeah.
I think Robinson's also better gifted at link-up play than those other. Well, I haven't really seen much of Abram yet, but I think he's just better at linking things together. So maybe that's part of the reason for that. But who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Wiley carves midfielders and attacks, then sees a right back and needs to pass it off. Well, yeah, that's fair. You think 6 goals in all competitions for Araujo? Okay, Connor says that. This one says Discby says 4 goals last season for Araujo, so I'll give him 5 this year. 1 more. How generous.
Improvement.
But he also thinks it's
boy.
with over 80 shots, so that's not a great percentage.
Yeah, I think he had like 70 shots last season. So yeah, no, okay, yeah, 10 more shots. I mean, he had 7, I think, or something like that today. So he's well on his way.
The problem I see with Araujo is he can score within the 12 yards, but past that, his technique goes right out the window, Connor says. Yeah, it seems like that. I mean, hopefully he can bring that down. He can get more control over those types of shots later in the season. A lot of this, I was saying when I was watching it, looked a little bit like rust, like ring rust for him. Mm-hmm. Which, hopefully you would hope that the preseason would amend some of that, but it doesn't seem to. I mean, like we thought it would because he was banging them in all over the place in preseason, but that's preseason. But I don't know. It still looks like ring rust to me. Hopefully he can get rid of that. So one question for all of us. So what did you guys think of the TV coverage? I know AJ didn't get to see it, but Mark,
I know
you saw it.
It looks apparently very crisp, and it makes Bally's or Fox Sports, all that, look like we were watching in standard definition. So
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I'm actually glad someone asked that because I did want to make a point about that. Crisp. Kevin Egan was on the call for Atlanta United, so that was nice for nostalgia's sake. But loving the coverage, I like the setup. There's some analysts I like, and then others I can do without. But I think that's every. Truthfully, they have a big staff. So. Got a lot of people on the coverage, whether it's in studio or covering the games itself. So it's a massive upgrade. They really needed to standardize the coverage, have it under one umbrella, right? So it looks the presentation just needed to be look more professional, and I think
uniform.
Yeah. So picture was good. Navigating the MLS I guess section of Apple TV. Really good, so much better than Peacock and Paramount. How many years have we been struggling with Peacock? Yet every time I gotta watch my team on there, it's glitch central, right? Oh god, I don't even want to. But yeah, so that's great. There's actually a feature that I tweeted about where you can queue up what game you want to watch next. Like you can put it in your up next queue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So really, really happy with it. And if you're watching this and you have T-Mobile and you haven't taken advantage of it yet, do so. You don't even need to pay for Apple TV. Like, you just need to have an Apple ID, and you're good to go.
Speaking of perks,
Right, and apparently, yeah. Well, I'm sorry. I'll just throw this in there. Apparently, it was free today for anybody as well.
I didn't know that.
Get the app, and you can watch any of the games.
How well communicated.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, I saw it, but I guess didn't want to be like a spokesperson for Apple TV. I mean, hey, if Apple TV, if you want to, be like, yo, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Atlanta United Fan TV? Hey, you want to?
All right.
Totally good.
So one of the perks I was thinking about is one of the things you can do with the audio, and I played around with this at one point because the audio had like a tin sounding thing going on for a minute at one point. You can actually switch your audio from the national broadcast, or like Kevin Egan, and then switch it to the local broadcast. So I was able to listen to Mike Conti and Jason Longshore if I wanted to. So that's really cool. Like, because there's this one, I forget his name. There's one commentator who like talks like he says shish 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 after every word he says. Like he passes the ball up the front, shish shish. Like he keeps talking like that, and it makes my wife go insane.
Yeah.
It's not a lisp. It sounds like a British thing almost, but like it's like when my wife hears it, she's like, it like makes her go insane. So I'm like, well, we don't have to listen to that anymore. So
that's good. Okay. Yeah. I know. Yeah, because we won't always be blessed with Kevin Egan or Maurice Ledoux.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's see another question. Oh man, I gotta scroll back up. There's a bunch.
Oh, and Mark, if you got a jet, totally let us know. I know we've kept you.
Oh, you're good.
Kept you pretty long.
I'm gonna hang out for maybe about 15 more minutes.
This person, Steveny Gabby Perez said, I couldn't get the Apple TV app to work. Sorry to hear that, bud. Another one said, mind you, there will be more competitions this year with Leagues Cup. That's true. Right. So that's what he was talking about, and having to factor in all competitions. In preseason, most of the goals from Rougeau are right around the D or inside the box. That kind of makes sense. The ability to listen to the home radio broadcast was so nice. Sorry, Kevin. No, don't worry. Mike Conti's when you listen to him and just like their energy is amazing. It's fantastic. Is the Leagues Cup kind of like the Europa League for CONCACAF?
No, it's more like Europa Conference League. Yeah. It's more like this competition is like not necessary whatsoever.
Well, other than to do this, so
yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. So, sorry.
When it happens, are we gonna be excited? Are we gonna cheer every goal? Yeah, hell yeah, we are.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
apparently, a lot of people had audio issues with Apple, like it just wasn't the stadium audio. I didn't experience that. I only, like I said, had that weird, like, kind of tin-sounding feedback issue for, like, 2 minutes. And then it went away. So it is what it is. Patrick Milliken wants me to rant about something. Maybe later. I'm not sure what... I mean, I do have some things I want to rant about, so I can do that with some of my notes I took while I was watching the game. Connor says, again, Elliott League Cup is kind of like the Carobo Cup. I can't know if I'm saying that right, but I do know
Cup.
Carabao. Yeah, I do know about that one. Or the FA Cup. I think it's probably more like the Carobo Cup than the FA Cup. But that's
Carabao. Again, I think it's more like the Europa Conference League because it's more like a continental competition.
True.
So less a obviously just within the the United States. But,
Leagues Cup does get you a spot in CCL now, I believe. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
How are we feeling about this season so far? I'll just say that I just it's like people come in and so forth and so on. They were here in the beginning, so I personally think I'm feeling on a high right now because we won, obviously, but. Like we talked about, there's a lot of systemic issues that I think hopefully may be patched with the addition of the new signings getting gelled with the first team. If that all works according to plan, we may see a system emerge, and if that's the case, we could be looking at a pretty good, scary team. However, if there really is no system to plug into and we're just doing more hero ball, it's going to look a lot like last year. And I don't think that bodes well for us. So,
is that you, Michael, or is that where you're reading? That's you, right?
sorry? Oh, that was me. That was my little summary. Yeah.
That was you. Okay, wow. Very, very well put and very succinct.
Thank you.
Very much agreed. Yeah, that's just like exactly it to the T. Like we need some sort of coherent system. Otherwise, we are in for some deja vu.
And we did suffer a lot of injuries, a lot of impactful injuries last season, and so it's fair to say, like, just with having those players back, should the team look better? Yes, and then with the signings, when they get in there, should the team look better? Yes, but I also think that, this is the season, at least for me, because like I know there's some people who, if it were up to them, Pineda would already be gone. I would, not me personally, but I do think that this is an important season for him to kind of show what it is that he's trying to do ultimately. You know what I mean? Because like he can't say that he hasn't been backed. They've been active. So I think there is not going to talk about hot seat or anything like that, but I think there is some pressure on Pineda this season.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, I would imagine these players he had some say in, versus maybe Frank de Boer, who didn't really have much say, or Gabriel Heinze. Like, I think, it didn't seem like, even after the season that we had, that he was on the hot seat or there was much pressure on him.
All right, let's see. So, do we still have the U.S. Open Cup this year? Yes, I believe we do. So that's more competitions.
Yes.
I think it's similar because the reward for winning is similar to those competitions as you get a spot in major competition in North America. I think he's still talking about the competitions in Europe, Europa League versus our Leagues Cup. And yeah, thanks. I missed the game. Well, the game was overall. This specific game was boring for 90 minutes. We were kind of getting outplayed for the first 30 minutes. Then we kind of turned it around and started pinning them towards the end of the first half. Then in the second half, we really started to pour it on. A couple of squeaky bum moments from San Jose, that kind of made me a little nervous. But overall, we held it together. I mean, their first goal was pretty much a peach. There's not much you can do about it. I feel like if we did that exact style of play and we had Gio on the field, I think he scores that too. So I think like if we had him on the field, we could have gotten it to like 1-1 pretty quickly. And then all of a sudden, Thiago's winning the game 3-1. That's something I think probably would have happened if Gio was there.
They probably as well. Yeah, I would bet that he probably put that away.
And definitely look for those highlights tomorrow on YouTube from Thiago Almada. Woo! Those are worth watching just by themselves.
Really both, honestly. But yes, that first one where it just unstoppable.
Yeah. And off the crossbar is always just.
That was delicious.
Can't do anything about it.
It was so funny. As Jason Longshore was saying that if Thiago scores this one too, I'm out of here. And he just was saying like, I'm just gonna get up and leave, and he did. So.
Nice. Man of his word.
Yeah. So, all right. Brandon says, so far, Abram and Etienne look promising. If they continue to pan out and Gigi can start to impact the back line, things are looking up. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I agree with that.
But again, I keep harping on this. Our midfield.
So, do you think Hosetu and Ibarra are gone in the summer?
In the summer? No.
Really?
Hosetu just got a new deal. He's not moving, unfortunately. I don't hate the guy. I just don't think he's it.
Yeah, I think if you hate soccer players, you probably need to take a step back for a minute. So that's just my opinion.
But it's just that, yeah. Hey, it's like the player isn't a fit. Like he doesn't do quite enough for me at the position. And yeah, there's plenty of really dynamic players that we could get that could help us. I think really round out the team. Because if you look at the individual talent, it's like, okay, yes, this all makes sense. Now, how do they all cohesively work together and can positionally know where they need to be, and also, play like a team versus individuals.
Okay, this is kind of interesting. I think we have to take Connor says, I think we have to take this game as a loss. I think what you're probably saying is that it might be helpful to not think of this as like the system was successful. And that's probably good to think that way. However, I'm going to take 3 points when I can get them. So.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really great point. I mean, if I was Gonzalo Pineda, I'd be furious after this game.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, okay, yeah, Thiago Almada just bailed you guys all out.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
All right. But also, he would probably also have to put a mirror to his too, because it starts with him. But let's take maybe 2 more. My phone's starting to lose battery, so.
All right, we're about to close up shop, everybody. So just get your questions in real quick. And he also said if San Jose plays the same throughout the 90, we lose by 3 or 4. I don't know if that's true, but I don't think our backline is that questionable. A dub is a dub, Patrick Milligan. Yes, I agree. A dub is a dub, and like I said, I'll take it. I thought we just picked up Rosetto's contract extension. Yeah, I think we did. So for me, that implies a 1-year extension. I think it is a 1 year. He isn't locked up long term, which is thankfully the case. So there's that. But yeah, I would love if he was gone, and if we could find a way to get him gone, that'd be great. Because I would love someone to replace him, with a high level signing in the summer, which a lot of that TAM and stuff that we've been building up is hopefully going to go to.
Yeah, we need a goal-scoring midfielder other than Thiago Almada in the middle of the park, and right now we don't have it. It's like Sadic, Ibarra, Satu, Sosa. I mean, Sosa's probably the best goal scorer of the bunch, and he's the deepest lying one. And in terms of Ozzy Alonso as well, like not really a goal scorer in that sense. Like, who of them do you trust to, really do something other than?
Well, I think our best midfielder is probably Andrew Gutman. Our best right back and left back is probably Andrew Gutman. Our best striker is probably Andrew Gutman. So he's everywhere. He's all over the place.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it would be interesting. Yeah. If we, it basically, like, obviously, if he was, put at striker, obviously he'd be marked to them. So, like, the ability to pop up in places that's, he can ghost into is what makes him so good.
Yeah. Another comment from Anatara is, even champions get lucky. That's very true. What are your thoughts on the pregame stuff? So the only thing that I was able to see was Ludacris hammering in the spike, which is neat, and also Anton Walks' tribute, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. Anton Walks, rest in peace. What a gentleman, what a great guy to begin with. And yeah, it's very sad. Young family as well that he had. The house. It's really beautiful tribute. I wish, kind of wish it was a little bit longer of a moment.
Yeah, it was pretty short, but it is what it is. So, all right, let me see. These are just the last things I'm going to read real quick.
Okay.
It just feels the team needs a box-to-box midfielder, just a body that can get in the box and not panic. I wish we had Darlington Abbey still. There will be games this year we let slip away. I will take this win and save it for a rainy day. Completely agree. It's the American way, so I guess I like the more traditional way. Fair. Guzan looked good tonight. Had 2 wonderful shot stops that were really strong, so that was good. And yes, we love you, Anton. That's a good thing to end on, I think.
I think so. And yes, so I'll sign us all out. But if you guys want to, before that, let us know where the people can find you. Mark.
Yep, you can find me at Nicholsodian. That's NICHOLLSODEON. That's my handle on Twitter and Instagram, and that's mainly where I'm active. So yeah, come say hi. Yeah.
He's a good follow. And Michael.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be making a Twitter after this. I don't really have one. So I'll eventually start posting that in these videos. So you can follow me for whatever comes out of my brain. So,
woo!
Hey. And of course, you guys know where to follow, the channel here. But yes, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out. After this match, we'll be trying to do more of these throughout the season. No promises on every single match because obviously there are like 45, 50 matches this season. But we will try. My God, we will try. But yes, everyone, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Love you. And we will see you in the next video.